think we're are we? Yes,
Okay.
yes, right. Yeah.
Are we live?
Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. Today's moderator, Professor Vivek Kormakar, is a sculptor, visual artist, and a designer. He has studied in Delhi University and is a fellow of Sydney Grammar School Foundation, Australia. He heads the foundation department at United World Institute of Design, a constituent college at Karnavati University, Ahmedabad. All yours, Professor.
Thank you, Abhijit. Time to be vocal about local toys. In the words of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, I welcome you all to India Toy Fair webinar series topic, Role of Design in Upscaling Production of Local Toys and Promoting Nationalism. Nationalism for me is taking pride in my nation, its cultural heritage and characteristics, its development in terms of science, technology, and society. In the context of toy industry, at a time when one of our neighbors dominates our toy industry with a share of almost 75% products, we are here to discuss the role of design in upscaling production of local toys and promoting nationalism. Last year, in his radio program Mann Ki Baat, our Prime Minister has called upon the toy industry in the country and urged startups to team up and make toys for the entire world indigenously, as India has the talent and the ability to become a toy hub. He also said that the new education policy focuses on toys for children to nurture their creativity and innovation quotient. I welcome our esteemed guest of honor and speakers, Dr. Himanshu Pandya, Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University. Dr. Himanshu Pandya is the Vice Chancellor and has also worked as a Dean, Faculty of Science Executive Council member, Academic Council members, member of the Court, Senate, head of the Department of Biochemistry and Forensic Science. He's also worked as a chairman member for more than 14 search communities for Vice Chancellor, chairman, member for many universities in India, UGC peer committee and central and state government statutory committees. He's also executive member of many national and international acclaimed academia. Dr. Pandya holds a PhD degree in botany and from Gujarat University. Dr. Pandya, over to you.
Thank you so much. After so many time, I'm listening something about me because this corona has ended every introduction to every researcher and scholar. One particular virus has challenged us a lot. You know, all our literature, all our text, all our understanding, it is questioned, and we don't have any solution to deal with that virus. I don't know how this academic introduction goes and up to how long we'll be able to combat all these new entities which is coming every year to us in terms of Zika, Nipah, Ebola, and whatnot. Today's topic is completely different. I'm with the designers, and I'm a science scholar, so totally out of the box. So I'm supposed to talk. So please pardon me if I'm missing the track or I'm talking something which is not relevant. But being a researcher, I always find it interesting when you say it, the designing. You know, design is there in your mind. But before you design something, there is a thought in your mind. We also design laboratory experiments for the scientific investigations. But before we design the experiment, we design the protocol, we have to have some components. And when you link the components, then you have some framework in your mind that this is how I'm going to execute. Now, the important part comes is the timeline again, and the delivery and the expected outcome out of it. Here, today's topic is very interesting. We are supposed to discuss something on the nationalism. I second Professor Vivek Kormakar that to me, nationalism is something different, and to everybody else, nationalism is something different. Are we going to compete someone? Are we going to defeat someone? Are we really in a competition of something? We need to ask this important question to us. We really want to overtake our neighbors or our competitors or what? To me, when you understand the nationalism, first we need to be the important component of nationalism is, the important unit of the nationalism is, we need to be human in nature. And when you are human in nature, obviously you think of halls. This is what our culture teaches us and allow us to grow in a way that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is our motto, and we need to take care of each and every component of this life on this earth. The role of design is very critical, let me tell you. When a child is playing with his siblings or friends or the groups where he study, where he work, where he play, so many ideas come to his mind. And when something comes to your mind, you try to approach this particular feeling. Then your absent mind would analyze all these happenings around you. And you try to understand the happening of that feelings. And when you understand the happening of the feeling, then you try to add the component to make your understanding more stronger, to requisite its primary formatting. Now, let us make it simple. When a child is playing with a clay or mud, he has something different in his mind. When a child is playing with a plastic or a metal, then the scene is totally different. But when he is exposed to the artificial intelligence and machine learning sort of platforms, then his thinking pattern and his understanding pattern is revolutionized. So if you are making a card out of a clay model, and then ultimately you are added to some circuits and some control panels to that card, and now you are making this card with the help of artificial intelligence, you just imagine the growth of understanding and growth of learning there. Friends, this is really very important, I tell you. We use very heavy words to make people understand. And one of the heavy words is creativity. When we say creativity, you write creativity in Google and you will find 1,000 pages. What to understand as a creativity? I may explore, something which is out of the world design sort of a thing. But is it acceptable to the common people? Is it reaching to the common needs? So to me, design and nationalism, if we link, we have to have many formats at one particular platform. The requirement of Sikkim is something different. The requirement of Arunachal Pradesh is something different. The requirement of Nagaland is something different. The requirement of Gujarat is something different. Kerala is something different. So the child, those who are playing in their close vicinity and their working groups, they are having different requirements and different interests. People say that we live in an era where technology would surplus the brains, human brains. Friends, I have a doubt. This machines and artificial intelligence is looking very fascinating. And we found them very, effective and very dominating over the human brain. But something with creativity, with sensible approach, and the sensitive approaches to the societal requirement. That is the beauty of human brain. So artificial intelligence would never compete the human brain. So when we design a toy, we need to take care of so many creatures, so many happenings, our cultural belief, our spiritual understanding, and our societal fabric. So that is what I was sharing to you people. that when you understand the Make in India concept, it's not Make in India and use in India. It is Make in India and use by the globe, use by the world. If we can approach this sort of practices, then and then we'll be able to be there in that arena where we are going to compete or defeat or lead the world in terms of the design of the toy. Our kids are easily accepting this Spider-Man, Hulk, and all these creatures. You know. But if you propagate an idea of a Bhim or Arjuna, then a little bit of education, I doubt, I quote it like under double inverted comma, that education, they will question. When it's a mythology, whether we believe it or not. I don't believe in certain things. Easily we challenge. It's not about developing and competing something, but to me it's a movement. When our Honorable Prime Minister say that let us produce our own toys, it's not a political slogan, it's a movement. If we can understand this particular word, it's a movement. Now rest is there with the citizens of this country, that how we are going to address this particular design and produce in India concept. Just 5 years back, when he introduced Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, Make in India concepts, all the wise men, they understood this particular slogans like a political slogan. But let me tell you, with each and every slogan, there is a movement to awaken a particular industry. And if you can link all these particular parameters, then and then a chain would be completed, and then we can evolve as an Atmanirbhar India. It's not only agriculture or cooperation sector or a design sector or a defense sector we want to lead. We have to contribute to each and every sector. और इसमें हम तभी कर पाएंगे, लोग बोलते हैं, ये बहुत ही आसान है समझना, कि हाथी को ऐरावत बनना है, वृक्ष को कल्पवृक्ष बनना है, गाय को कामधेनु बनना है. Each and every person on this earth, in our country, each and every state, they are supposed to perform in their own excellence. They have to reach at the peak of their understanding, their wisdom, and their knowledge. And then we'll be able to deliver something as self-reliant India. Friends, it is not difficult to propagate this Arjuna, Bhima, or Karna, or Vivekananda. If we can promote things in our novels, in our research articles, in our literatures, in our films, in our TV shows, why not? J.K. Rowling is coining one particular character of, a film, and it is a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Wherever you go, you find toys like that, the novels like that, the films and TV shows and characterization of events and whatnot. So it is to live with that particular temperament. Then and then we can create the essence of that nationalism. To me, let us not take it as a religious belief or sort of understanding and promoting the scripts and literature what we have. It is to promote the industry related to this particular aspect. And it is the role of academic institutions and the policy maker. We need to be very much creative and vigilant in this area. And I'm sure, I know what is happening in terms of implementation of national education policy. We have to incorporate all these requirements in our curriculum. This is something beyond our understanding. We need to be that much dynamic as per the requirement of the society and student. It's not that easy, I know, to frame certain things in your routine syllabus and curriculum. It's not that easy. But can we create a niche where people can come and deliver what they are understanding? And let everybody come to a platform There should be a network. I know when last week only, when we were coordinating for Ahmedabad Design Week, we had a lot of discussion on these issues. And then we come across the happenings in this country. I tell you, there are thousands and thousands of craftsmen and designers and software engineers and hardware developers are available, but they hardly work in coordination with each other. They are talking to France, they are talking to USA, they are talking to America, but they are not talking to Rajasthan, or they are not talking to Gujarat or West Bengal. Friends, this is the time where we need to talk to each other. We need to understand the requirement. We need to support each other. We need to be there in loop of happening and development. It's not only popularization of events or popularization of our characters and promotion of the scripts, what we are thinking in our mind. But then when you propagate an idea in a way where people would easily accept that particular part. So beyond competency, beyond the level of preaching and teaching, if we can propagate an idea to a level where the world would automatically be in your stride. And this is what happened with each and everything. We have many examples to follow, I tell you. आज कई सालों के बाद एक ऐसा मौका आया है कि now the world is recognizing you as a powerful country. And this pandemic has proved, I tell you, friends, this pandemic has proved we have the least mortality ratio in the world as far as the corona pandemic adverse effects are concerned. We have supplied our vaccines to more than 116 countries. So we are responsible for saving life in this very critical situation. So now, दुनिया ने माना है कि हमारे पास लोहा है. ये इतना आसान नहीं था, पर अगर एक इनोवेशंस, एक लूपिंग और नेटवर्किंग के हिसाब से एक कंट्री में अलग अलग 4 जगह पे वैक्सीन बन रही है, एंड ऑल दीज 4 फॉर्मेट्स आर वर्ल्ड एक्सेप्टेड फॉर्मेट्स, ये बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है. I think we need to celebrate this particular moment. The same way we can deliver to the world of design of toys. And simple, it's not about the production. When our neighboring countries are producing certain things, मुझे ये कभी अच्छा नहीं लगता कि हमारे gods and goddesses are coming from the neighboring country. हमारे आइडल भी वहां से बन के आते हैं. हम क्या अपने आइडल नहीं बना सकते? बिल्कुल बना सकते हैं. हमने आज तक वहां पे ध्यान नहीं दिया है. They have not focused and concentrated to that requirement. I tell you, when Honorable Prime Minister first mentioned about the capacities and capabilities in Indian industry to produce toys, I tell you, the 400 crore industry is now 16,000 crore industry. Today's newspaper are reflecting the figures. And this is really very interesting, I tell you. The students are starving for work. What we are supposed to do is, let us network them for a cause, for a reason. Let them deliver the best of their capabilities. And I think we'll be leading the world. There is no question about it. And you all are, having extraordinary capacities with you. But let us start talking to each other. We academicians are always busy in deliberating our own courses. Like I have 200 research paper and 50 patents and this many articles, and I'm winner of this many awards and this and that. But we hardly talk to our neighbors. We hardly talk to our same faculty members. Please, please, please come out of all this recognition, which is ruining the fabric of our understanding. It is really very important to talk to each other and having a network between each other. Accept a human and its capabilities. And I'm sure we are having all these characteristics in our DNA, and our DNA is not going to perish in a simple way. No competition can beat us. Nobody can challenge us. Being a country, being a nation, we are ruled by so many people for years and ages, but still we are there as a strong citizen on this globe, and we have that strong mark on the history also. Lot of opportunities are there. If you take clay production and wooden production, and today morning I was listening to one program, and I found very interesting conversation that why the wooden crafts are accepted worldwide, and the number of wooden craft is very high. Acceptability is very high. Why? Because the wood is having a particular smell. It has some fragrance. I tell you, metal is not having that fragrance. So clay and wooden formats, keeping the local requirements and local ideals in our mind, propagating the particular idea and the characters, and working for the designing and development of that particular product for a global competency. That would be a converting phenomena for the manufacturers and those who are dealing in this industry. I hope that very soon we'll be having a strong policy to follow for development, production, propagation, marketing, and global competency for toy designing, manufacturing, and its utilization. We need to understand the local requirement also. Keeping the local requirements in mind, if we can work in a network, I'm confident, more than confident, that we would lead this world for toy manufacturing very soon. Like we have produced a vaccine for Corona within 3 months. So if in 100 days, if you can produce a vaccine for a toy, it's not a big deal. And with all this expertise available to our manufacturing units, you people are stalwarts in your own fields and working extensively in your areas. That would help us a lot to be a stronger industry and the best producer of toys in this country for global competency. Thank you very much for calling me here. Wish you all the good luck, all the very best.
Thank you so much for such motivating opening remarks, Professor. You said you were from the background of science and science scholar, but your vivid knowledge about various aspects really enlightened all of us. I would request Abhijit, Professor Abhijit, to introduce Shri Harshad Shah to take on to the keynotes.
Shri Harshad Shah is presently working as the in-charge Vice Chancellor of Children's University. He has established Shri Saraswati Shishu Mandir, a school in Surat. He has worked as the president of Vidya Bharati Gujarati Pradesh, been a member of syndicate by Government of Gujarat in Veer Narmada South Gujarat University. He is a member of the Granthalaya Samiti Gujarat State Library Department for book selection in Raja Ram Mohan Roy Foundation since 2003. He has worked as a member in Gujarati Chalachitra Paritoshik Samiti. He has also worked as a convener of state committee formed by the MHRD for selection on Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University of Arunachal Pradesh. As president of Sarfaroshi Pustak Shreni, excuse me, under Yuva and Sanskritik Vibhag.
I'll take over, Abhijit.
No, that's all right, sorry.
I think. Shri Harshad Shah has authored...
Shri Harshad Shah has authored and published many books.
Over to you, sir.
सभी को मेरा अंतःकरण पूर्वक नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
ये एक बड़ा अद्भुत कार्यक्रम हम करने जा रहे हैं जो कल से शुरू हुआ है। 4 दिन के लिए एक वैश्विक स्तर का एक टॉय फेयर हम करने जा रहे हैं। It will enlighten the people and the parents and the teachers and the students all over the country. So many people are going to visit the toy fair. मगर टॉय फेयर का जो थीम है बहुत ही, ये मतलब इस वेबिनार का जो थीम है वो हमारे ये राष्ट्रीयता या राष्ट्रभक्ति या राष्ट्र प्रेम को जगाने के लिए टॉय डिजाइन की, टॉयज की क्या भूमिका है, ये विषय हमारा एक बड़ा अद्भुत विषय चुना है आयोजक मित्रों ने, मैं उनको बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। अब ये विषय जो है वो तो भारत की आत्मा को टटोलने का कार्यक्रम है। देखिए, जब हम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी बार बार कहते हैं कि वी शुड हैव द थीम ऑफ ऑल साइंस फेयर्स एंड विज्ञान मेला, लर्निंग थ्रू टॉयज, मगर ये विषय जो है वो नॉट ओनली लर्निंग थ्रू टॉयज, अवेकनिंग थ्रू टॉयज, टॉयज के माध्यम से, खिलौनों के माध्यम से पूरे देश को जगाने वाली बात है। और इसलिए ये जो राष्ट्रीयता, राष्ट्रभक्ति या राष्ट्र प्रेम जो निर्माण करने की बात है खिलौनों के माध्यम से, ये एक बड़ा अद्भुत विषय है। हमारा देश अति प्राचीन देश है, पूरे विश्व में हमारा देश अति प्राचीन देश है, और हमारे कई अच्छे अच्छे सूत्र या हमारे जीवन मूल्य या हमारी जीवन शैली जिससे हम प्रकट करते हैं, वैसे कुछ सूत्र मैं बोलता हूँ। वयम अमृतस्य पुत्राः, हम अमृत पुत्र हैं, हम विशिष्ट हैं, हम में ताकत है, हम सिंह शावक है, सिंह की तरह हमारी शक्ति है। तो ये आत्मविश्वास है, आत्मगौरव जो है वो फिर से जगा सकते हैं खिलौनों के माध्यम से। एक सूत्र हम बोलते हैं जननी जन्मभूमिश्च स्वर्गादपि गरीयसी, जो भगवान राम के मुंह से निकला हुआ वाक्य है, और वेदों में भी कहा गया है कि माता भूमि ही पुत्रो अहम पृथिव्याः, ये धरती मेरी माँ है और मैं इसका पुत्र हूँ। क्या हम इसको खिलौनों के माध्यम से कोई अच्छी डिजाइन बना करके बच्चों को नहीं बता सकते कि भाई ये हमारी धरती है, ये हमारी धरती माता है? तो वी हैव टू गिव द थीम्स टू द डिजाइन मेकर्स, जो डिजाइन बनाने वाले हैं, जो कल्पना शक्ति जिसके मन में आती है, जो खिलौने बनाएंगे कैसे? जब तक हमारे मन में कोई अक्षर लिखा नहीं जाता, हमारी उंगलियां लिखती नहीं है, अक्षर पहले यहाँ लिखा जाता है, वैसे ही डिजाइन पहले मानस में, मगज में बनती है, माइंड में बनती है। तो डिजाइन मगज में कब बनेगी? जब मगज में अच्छे विचार होंगे, जब हम उनको राष्ट्रीयता के विचार देंगे, जब हम हमारे डिजाइनर्स को, टैलेंटेड पीपल को, जब हम हमारी बातें बताएंगे कि भी हमें किस प्रकार के खिलौने चाहिए, डिजाइन का थीम हमने हमारे डिजाइन करने वाले लोगों को देना पड़ेगा। भारत तो हमारा कितना भव्य दिव्य भारत है, ये कोई ऐसा वैसा देश नहीं है। हमें रत भारत कहते हैं, जो तेजोमय है, ऐसा तेजोमय देश है, तेज की आराधना करने वाला, ज्ञान की आराधना करने वाला यह देश है। यहाँ महान संस्कृति पनपी हुई है। तो संस्कृति, भारत की जो संस्कृति है, उसको हम डिजाइनिंग के माध्यम से अभिव्यक्त कर सकते हैं, अच्छी तरह कर सकते हैं। जरा सोचेंगे हम तो पता चलेगा कि हमारी संस्कृति के कई मूल्य हम खिलौनों के माध्यम से ढाल सकते हैं, उसको शेपिंग कर सकते हैं। हमारी संस्कृति के, हमारे जीवन के कई जीवन मूल्य हैं, जैसे मातृदेवो भव, पितृदेवो भव, आचार्यो देवो भव, राष्ट्र देवो भव। ये सब जो है वो किसके माध्यम से कैसे? ये बच्चे को उपदेश देने से नहीं आता है। बच्चे को ये यदि कोई खिलौना बताए, और कोई बच्चा यदि माता को या पिता को या अपनी भारत माता को नमन करता हुआ दिखाई दे, और खिलौनों के माध्यम से कोई उसको टेक्नोलॉजी में डालेंगे, तो कितना बढ़िया हो जाएगा भाई। तो ये हमें देखने की आवश्यकता है कि भारत का इतिहास, भारत में जो भी बड़ी बड़ी घटनाएं घटी हैं, बहुत पुराना इतिहास है, बहुत पुरानी संस्कृति है। भारत में से वेद उत्पन्न हुए हैं, उपनिषद है, रामायण है, महाभारत है, पंचतंत्र की कितनी कथाएं यहाँ है, हितोपदेश की कितनी कथाएं यहाँ पर। और यदि हमारे डिजाइनर्स, तो आज मैंने कल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो बताया, पपेट्स के माध्यम से जयपुर में से जो कठपुतली बनाने वाले लोग थे, वो कितनी कथाएं कह सकते हैं। बढ़िया, यदि उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी थोड़ी इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दी जाए, तो कितना बड़ा अच्छा माध्यम बन सकता है। इन कथाओं को सुनने के लिए, श्रवण करने के लिए बच्चे आतुर रहेंगे, मोबाइल को छोड़ करके और वो अपना ये कठपुतली देखने के लिए उद्यत हो जाएंगे। राष्ट्र को जानना, अपने राष्ट्र को जानना प्रत्येक नागरिक का, प्रत्येक बच्चे का कर्तव्य है, चाहे कोई भी राष्ट्र हो। तो ये बचपन से ही यदि हम बच्चे को राष्ट्रभक्त बनाना चाहते हैं, अच्छे से अच्छा माध्यम है खिलौना। खिलौनों के माध्यम से हम जो करना चाहते हैं सब कर सकते हैं। उसको भाषा सिखा सकते हैं, उसको गणित, विज्ञान, इतिहास, नभोदर्शन, कई विषय उसको सिखा सकते हैं। न केवल विषय, उसको भारत के प्रति अभिमुख कर सकते हैं। अब ये डिजाइन बनाने वाले जो हमारे मित्र हैं, वो कई डिजाइनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में हैं। कई डिजाइनिंग, मेरे ख्याल से 150 से ज्यादा इंस्टीट्यूट हमारे देश में है। और इन सभी डिजाइनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट को एक बार यदि हम थीम दे दें कि किस प्रकार के खिलौने बनने चाहिए, किस प्रकार के थीम देने चाहिए। वी आर वर्किंग ऑन थीम्स। आई टेल यू, we have given some idea to our staff members in Children's University who are working on this project. So they are going to derive certain themes कि हम कैसे थीम पर खिलौने बनाने चाहिए। तो थीम इज द बेसिक थिंग, एंड उसके बाद में थीम के आधार पर डिजाइन बन सकती है। हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहा है, वो जो बड़ा अच्छा सूत्र दिया है, वोकल फॉर लोकल। मुझे एक थोड़ा सा सूत्र उसको आगे बढ़ा रहा है, वोकल फॉर लोकल एंड लोकल टू ग्लोबल। लोकल टू ग्लोबल। हम पहले हमारे देश में जो बड़ी अच्छी जो संपदा है, बहुत अच्छी एसेट्स है, बहुत अच्छी जो बातें हैं, उसको हम खिलौनों के माध्यम से डालें, उसको शेपिंग करें और उसको फिर ग्लोबली उसको विकसित करें, ग्लोबल मार्केट में हम पहुंचाएं, ताकि भारत का परिचय, भारत क्या है, किस प्रकार का देश है, वो विदेश के लोग, पूरे विश्व के लोग जाने। जैसे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी बार बार कहते हैं, कल के भाषण में भी मैंने सुना कि हमारा देश तो बड़ा विशिष्ट देश है, बड़ा समृद्ध देश है, हमारी विचार संपदा अद्भुत है, हमारे विचार यदि विदेशों में पहुंचा सकते हैं, विश्व में पहुंचा सकते हैं, तो आज सब दिल लगा करके सुनने के लिए आतुर है, तत्पर है। और यदि हम अच्छे विचार उनको दें तो वी कैन बिकम द लीडर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। तो ये आत्मनिर्भरता की बात है, और आत्मनिर्भरता तभी हो सकती है कि जब हम, जैसे एक और सूत्र माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने दिया है, टू मेक इट वाइड स्प्रेड टू स्मॉल आर्टिसंस, स्मॉल कारीगर जो होते हैं, कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री होती है, उसके लिए भी उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी एक बात बताई। मेड इन इंडिया जैसे सूत्र को उन्होंने कितना बढ़िया तरीके से कहा है। देखिए, हैंडमेड इन इंडिया, तो छोटे छोटे लोगों को अपने यहाँ तो कितनी अच्छी टैलेंट है, हैंडमेड कर सकते हैं, काफी चीजें क्राफ्ट से, मटेरियल से अच्छी चीजें बना सकते हैं। हमारा जो वैविध्यपूर्ण देश है, विविधता में एकता वाला देश है, उसको भी हम अभिव्यक्त कर सकते हैं, और इसके माध्यम से मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ज्यादा कहने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, मगर राष्ट्रीयता कहो, राष्ट्रभक्ति कहो, राष्ट्र प्रेम कहो, ये सब निर्माण करने के लिए बहुत ही उपयुक्त साधन बच्चों के लिए, जो बचपन से ही यदि वो जानेंगे तो बहुत अच्छे नागरिक हमें भविष्य के मिलेंगे, देश के अच्छे सूत्रधार मिलेंगे, जो देशभक्ति से अपना काम, अपनी निष्ठा से देश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। आज इस वेबिनार में मुझे बोलने के लिए जो अवसर दिया है, मैं आयोजकों का धन्यवाद करता हूं, और हमारे सभी दर्शकों को ये संदेश देना चाहता हूं कि भाई हम राष्ट्रभक्ति से ओतप्रोत ऐसे हमारे बच्चों को निर्माण करें, और ऐसे ही खिलौने बनाएं जिससे कि राष्ट्रभक्ति प्रकट हो। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री हर्षद जी। आपने जिस तरह से एक सूत्र में संस्कृति को बांधा है और एक पर्सपेक्टिव दिखाया है टू एवरीबॉडी, I think it's fantastic, and we'll hope that we'll follow the same way uh, in beholding the rich civilization that you spoke of right in the very beginning of your keynote speech. Thank you so much. We move ahead with our esteemed speakers, Sonam Gyal Singh. Sonam is the founder of EcoStream, an evolving community of designers, dreamers, doers with professional expertise in industrial and communication design. EcoStream started as a collective initiative to provide design services to the government and village communities with the prime focus on larger development agendas in Sikkim. I think he calls it Creative Mountain Economy, which is a model proposed by EcoStream to integrate the aspirations of the communities living in a fragile ecosystem. Sonam is also the founder of La EcoStream's own products, which is focused in developing the creative industry capacity and capabilities in the Indian Himalayan region, starting with Sikkim. Apart from this, he is the founder of Zero Waste tea brand called Tea and Hospitality brand work from the Himalayas, which is focused on reviving the economy hit by COVID. Please welcome Sonam Tashi Gyal Singh. Hi, Sonam.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Introduction.
Yes. Carry on.
When I got this information, I was really a little confused as to how I landed up here amongst such enlightened human resource on this panel, and I think gives me great joy to actually share this platform with all of you. Basically, I've been asked to talk about the role of design, in terms of looking at contemporary applications of, toy design on toys and as products.
Correct.
So basically, I mean, when like our previous speakers have talked about, the role of design is really not on a point of view of like this design is the solution to a problem-solving process for toy design. It's a part of the solution. It's not the solution. It actually has an integration of sciences and different kinds of fields which comes together to actually providing solutions to toys. Particularly, I want to highlight a few things in terms of how the role of design can actually take scale of these ideas of toy design in India. One is basically, if you really look at the national policy, which Professor Himanshu Pandya talked about, I think there's a huge scope there, because the national education policy also really looks at, concentrating on local resources and local skills and local contexts, in terms of providing, teaching learning materials for schools. And I think there's a huge opportunity there in terms of linking local industries, which could be from the craft sector or any other sector towards fulfilling, the needs for the national education policy through toy design and through gaming. So this is one area that I think, there's a huge role that design can play. The second part of it is in the area of, local economies, like while the local for vocal thing is going on, and the vocal for local for global has also been going on for a while. But what has happened is over the years, we have not been able to use toy design as a approach for problem solving very effectively. And this is something which I think now is a very good time to actually look at that, from a application of like not only look at toy design from a very children-centric approach, but look at it from various age groups, from the young to the old, you know. So that is another thing that one can really look at it, making a very universalized idea of what toy design or toy products are. Even like look at products like toys and all for arthritis, or for people having Alzheimer's or some other disease or memory loss. A lot of things, there could be a lot of things that, you could do, through toy design. It's not necessary it has to be for entertainment or for game. It could be also a thing of, fitness and, to be healthy and, to have a very good immune system. So we'll have to start looking at different applications of toys, and where it can really solve a very contemporary problem. That is a very important thing. And then the third is actually, India is actually has this whole multiple plural concepts of culture and traditions and all of that. And we have not been able to integrate that very well, where, like a lot of people actually don't even know where Sikkim is. Or, at times when I was studying in NID, a lot of people, when they, people outside NID used to ask me, where are you from? I said, Sikkim. So used to say, "Acha, wahan pe visa chahiye kya aane ke liye?" So there used to be this thing about, within the country itself, we don't know much about our own cultures and traditions. And toy design could actually help in terms of, integrating and respecting each other's cultures and knowing about it and learning from it. So in the sense I come from, the vision statement that you talk about, where, we are talking about development, but in a context of a fragile ecosystem like the Himalayas. You must have seen the whole Uttarakhand, the mishap with the glaciers and climate change and all of that. So
Yes.
for us, these things actually become very, very critical, in terms of how do you educate the younger generation or the elderly in terms of our own local resources and our local problems like climate change and all of that. And toy design is a very good approach to actually explain that. And we have done some projects which actually successfully concluded, and it's got very good results. And which is why I feel that the role of design is it's not a, how do you say, it's not a one unilateral process, but it's a multidisciplinary approach. It cannot be done just to design. There has to be policymakers on board. There has to be people who are, experts in content and literature, people experts in psychology, sciences, different kinds of social sciences. So, it's a challenge, but it can be done. And this integration has to be done. Like, Professor Himanshu Pandya very, aptly pointed that out, that there's huge gap between academia, industries, and things at the grassroots level. So I think this integration can actually really work really well in terms of having a very, how do you say, a plural but yet a unified concept of India. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sonam. Your interest in geocentric, I mean, I think it's very, very evident from what you said. The whole ecosystem, the local resources, systems, and toy, like we've heard, the toys and then the big boy toys. I mean, whatever you've played as a childhood, and then when you grow up, you actually own them as your possessions. And if that solves your problem of the current, the global problems, the crisis that we have, I think that's a fantastic perspective that you brought it into this whole thing. Moving ahead, I feel that production and upscaling deals with the development of production methods for kind of programmable materials to produce them at a reasonable price. So my next question for Sanjeev Kakoti, Dr. Sanjeev Kakoti, is what kind of ecosystem is required to support the production of local Desi toys? And what role must entrepreneurs play to bring to life the ethnic toys and ancient games back on track? Professor Sanjeev Kakoti is Associate Professor at IIM Shillong. He teaches self and leadership communication, sustainability, and business. His doctoral research and study is in the history of technology from Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. His latest book, entitled Science, Technology, and Social Formation in Medieval Assam, was published by Cambridge. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you very much. This
Thank
has been a fascinating afternoon, listening to different perspectives.
Correct, absolutely.
As children, depending upon your mood, you would pick up different toys to play with. So in real life also, we put on different hats. And two of the hats that I wear, or maybe a few more hats. One hat is that of being a teacher at IIM Shillong. And the other hat that I often wear is that I'm also a historian and a documentary filmmaker, which has taken me to different paths looking at cultures and traditions. So toys, actually, we need to understand and remember that toys are a product of the imagination of a society. It is reflective of a person's identity, of a community's identity, and it is also reflective of the worldview. Now, what we have seen is in the recent past, we have seen a globalization in the economy that has also led to a monoculture of the mind. Now, the same kind of toys that are played, say, in the US or in Europe would be also very, very fashionable for the Indian kids. So you have toys that are like made by our neighbor, and there are toys made by our village craftsmen. So obviously people would go and buy the ones that are much more snazzy, they look better and stuff like that. So toys actually is something that is reflective of a lot of things in society, I feel.
True.
Now, toys are reflective of culture, toys are reflective of tradition. And somehow, with the globalization, we have allowed that mind space to be taken over in a very, very subtle manner. I've got a nephew who is 7 years old, and he keeps on watching television. He keeps on watching serials and plays games, which are essentially imports from Japan. I mean, there is absolutely no cultural connect between what he is doing and what we are as a collective. Now, when we talk about production and design, I think we would also have to look at some of the things that has happened in the last couple of decades. I mean, a generation of girls have grown up playing with Barbie dolls. And Barbie dolls have got blonde hair and blue eyes, and they look fair. So that becomes an aspiration for almost everyone. So much so that one of the highest selling face creams in India happened to be Fair and Lovely. As if, so in the mind space, what we did was we considered so much that even the concept of beauty for us was something that was a cultural import. Our sense of dress, the food that we eat, what are we proud of, what are we not proud of. I was quite impressed with what Sonam was saying about the fragility of the ecology. And if you notice, toys are always reflective of those concerns that people have for their immediate environment. Now, with respect to the specific question that you asked, I think we've got to look at it from two directions. One is there needs to be a revival of the toys, the designs that were there traditional in India, because on the whole, many of the toys and games that were once played are no longer there. They are disappearing. Some have entirely disappeared. And the second thing that we need to do is to also say that in order to make our country developed, in order to occupy much of the export share of a very, very important market called the toy market, it is important that we come up with production facilities that will enable us to produce international quality toys, and we supply this to the rest of the world. Because the Chinese toys fortunately or unfortunately, are painted with paints that are not very, very eco-friendly. And children normally tend to take them into their mouth, and research has shown that many of them have got toxic content. So the international market is very wary of some of the toys being produced in China. So there is a space for India to come in and say that, okay, we will produce toys that are absolutely eco-friendly and they are safe for children. So that is a space, it's something that I think India needs to do. So our production facilities and the technology that we use needs to be ramped up. It's already there. All we need to do is focus it on toy making, because toy making is no child's business. It is it's one of the very, very large earners for any country, and we need to do that. The other thing that was coming to my mind is, when we talk about design, there are two ways we look at design. One is the top-down design approach, and the other is the bottoms-up design approach. Now, one thing about nationalism is that India is India, a plural country with a country that has always prided its diversity. So what happens is, when we talk about design, the design cannot be something that comes from the top. Its design has got to always grow from the grassroots. And that is something that is already happening. Being vocal for local is nothing but a salute to the local artisans who are coming up with their own designs. Now, the other very interesting thing is the kind of design support that local artisans would require can be provided from the innumerable technical and other institutions that have come up in India in the recent past, starting from the IITs to the NITs to the ITIs to others. Now, what happens is, for anything to be sustainable, it would need to be linked to the markets. And that is something that even institutions like IIMs can do, and is doing probably to some extent, because it is not just enough to produce quality products, but it is also important that the same products reach different parts of the world. My father was somebody who used to travel the length and breadth of the country. He was a social worker. And each time he went to a particular state, he would come back with toys that were symbolic of that state. So I grew up as a child seeing toys from different parts of the country, and they were always very reflective of the culture of that state. But now when I go on my travels, it's very difficult to find toys that are reflective of the culture of that particular state. It is the same Leo metal cars and other kind of things that you find in the shop floors, which I think is a shame for a country as ancient as India, and with a culture and history that goes back easily 5,000 years, if not more. We have the first signs of toys in the Harappan civilization, in the Mohenjo-daro, which is 5,000 to 7,000 years old. Toys were actually found, go-karts were found. So which means that our tradition of toys are very, very old. Now, I cannot stop myself from saying that you cannot stop at toys. You've got to look at games. You've got to look at gaming. So another space which the introductory speaker was talking about was artificial intelligence and other things. So one thing that needs to be linked up is the concept of games, because one sure way of ensuring that our culture and our tradition is deeply embedded in the younger generation would be through the audiovisual medium. An audiovisual medium would contain maybe comic strips, maybe contain interactive games, maybe as you have it, I mean, whatever is there. So we need the young minds in the design institutes to come up with the games. We need design institutes to come up with software that will enable game making, will enable documentation of cultural traditions. A lot of culture is getting lost. In the Northeast, we have people who number just a few hundred who speak a particular language, and they, as you can easily imagine, those languages are on their way out. So we need to document those, their cultures, their traditions, and their material, whatever they produce, be it toys or traditions. So I think it is very important to actually occupy the audiovisual space and use technology, as it were. We have used technology to enable the holding of this meeting. I don't think I would have really found time to go to Gujarat or to Delhi for a meeting like this because there are too many other things. So technology has enabled this. So the thing that we're talking about sharing of knowledge. If that, why can't we share knowledge? Why can't Gujarat share knowledge with Rajasthan and Rajasthan with Bengal? So in a similar way, it is technology that is going to enable it. But the sad part is technology is still very, very casteist, I feel. It is only the educated and the well-heeled who seem to be able to use technology much more than the people who can actually use it in a much better way. So there is a need to democratize technology in a way. So it could be through community resource centers that come up in each village. It's not necessary for each person to come up. So what is also very important is that the worldview that we have is very important. The worldview that I noticed in Sikkim is so very different from the worldview that is there in, say, Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan. So there is a need to respect worldviews. And in most of the travels, in most of my study of history, I've seen that ancient civilizations like the Indian civilization has always respected humanity, has respected nature, has had a very, very healthy respect for the environment. And the community is something that is always kept as the primary objective for any personal pursuit. It is not the person per se. Whereas there is a subtle shift now. It's becoming individualistic. Some of the games that are coming up, they're so very violent. You get points out of playing those games when you kill somebody, when you rape somebody, and our youngsters are being kind of primed into getting into that kind of a lifestyle later on. So I think it is a major challenge for us that we do not confine ourselves to toys. We look at gaming, we look at that mind space, we look at how our younger generation can be inculcated with the good values. Unless they were good, they would not have survived for 5,000 years. They are good and they will survive for the next 5,000 years, provided that we are able to pass on the baton to them in a nice and proper manner. I think I will not take more time. I would like to end my brief speech here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. I think there is such a fantastic, similarity of thought that we are here on Sunday afternoon today, wherein, it all started with the, Himanshu, Dr. Himanshu Pandya, Professor Himanshu Pandya saying nationalism for him is, how to be human in nature. And that's what I think you were also talking about. And this is very important. And that's what was aired even by Sonam. All the speakers actually have realized this importance of understanding your own culture. Also, like you said, democratizing technology. And I think Dr. Himanshu Pandya also was saying the same thing. The moment we talk about mythology and mythology characters in comparison to the avatars that have come into being, again there is the discussions and debates and so on and so forth. I think we have to rise above all this and look at how toys can become solution providers to the local problems. With this, I would like to move on to our third speaker, which is like, despite these the pandemic, we have seen the demand of the toys when everybody was logged in their homes had increased exponentially. Of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's initiative towards designing and manufacturing toys will obviously and has definitely given a fillip to the domestic toy manufacturing companies. I think my question to Supradeep here is that with traditions rapidly dying that we were talking about, what role could design play in reviving these century-old traditions? Supradeep is a designer, educator, and researcher. He is an assistant professor in the Department of Design, IIT Guwahati. He has developed products and solutions for vegetable vendors for the Guwahati Municipal Corporation and is currently working on a sponsored project by Design Innovation Center, where he's developing products for street food vending along with other IIT Guwahati faculty. He's currently envisioning to set up a center for excellence for toy design in IIT Guwahati. Please welcome Supradeep Das.
So thank you, Professor Karmakar, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I'm very happy that this is the first time when we are talking about toys in a national platform. So, so when we are talking about how technology can enhance the whole scenario of the toy market, the three way it can, it has three major roles. One is through design, innovation, and management. Another is material innovation. And the third is the manufacturing process innovation. So beyond form, color, and aesthetics, we also should see the function of the toy. Right now, if you see Chinese market and Chinese toys, they are coming up with so many interesting mechanisms, and these are fascinating, attractive. So this way, I mean, technology also, I mean, IITs or NITs or other technology institutions should play a major role to find out new mechanisms to make toys interesting. Another aspect is packaging. Right now, toy packages coming up with only PVC materials. So there also new materials also should be proposed. Another aspect is human factor. When we are talking about human factor, it talks about physical capabilities and mental abilities. And right now, if you see, there are no standards for children's. The toys are, people are making toys without any standards and certifications. So there also is a researcher should play a vital role there to come up with standards, for toy for tomorrow. At the same time, lot of research opportunities I can see related to cognitive aspects in selection of toys and plays, and how it elicits emotions and visual attractiveness, its perceived usability and all this, which in total influence the purchase intention. So there also a lot of research opportunities are there. And India is a big market, and there, if we only talk about clay, like virgin materials like clay, bamboo, and wood, these are not sufficient to cater the bigger Indian market. And that is why, if you see currently, Ministry of Petrochemicals call for Center for Toy Excellence. They looked for biomaterials and biopolymers. So beyond virgin material, we should also look for new materials from waste, like pineapple leaf fiber or sugarcane fiber, how we can make composites out of natural fiber plus plastics and all this. So these are very important. Furthermore, renewable materials, semi-renewable materials, non-renewable materials, all those things, all those opportunities we should look for. We should not restrict our mind there with only virgin materials. So, so in this direction, a lot of work already IIT Guwahati had done previously. We made we made composite out of natural material plus plastic, and also we came up with biodegradable plastics. So this is the way we should, technology institutions should think. So another aspect is manufacturing processes. So when it comes to manufacturing processes, there are different kinds of toys, there are different kinds of customer segment, and based on that, the small scale units are there, and batch production units are there, and mass production units are there. And based on all those units, different kinds of toolings and techniques has to be proposed. So right now, what traditional toy makers are having, they don't have standard tools or techniques. And also, if we are talking about bio fibers or natural fibers extraction, there are no tool available. Standard tools are not available for natural fiber extraction. So tool designing also another area where technology institutions should look for. Another is right now how to increase the productivity of the local craftsmen. That also is another concern. So in this direction, maybe designing of jigs, fixture or molds can be also proposed. So these are the ways technology institutions can play a vital role there. So beyond that, design also can play a major role when products are on market and how it will be placed. A new platform can be suggested so that through which local craftsmen and the market people, the buyer will be connected. So these are the ways technology can help. So technology management, all these things should work together, not in silos. This is my submission.
Thank you, Supradeep. I think we kind of covered all different kinds of aspects, from the social culture to material culture, and to now Supradeep talked about material itself, from moving from the virgin material to composite material, biodegradable material, a requirement to for instrumentation or tool designing, looking at the institutions looking at incorporating these aspects in its programs, in its curriculum, and also working along with the crafts sector, to see how productivity from that end can also. And I feel that we see a great opportunity for the Indian toy manufacturers to grow by leaps and bounds in the coming future. I think we have overshot the time, and we have gone beyond the time, and we started before the time as well. I think it's been a great afternoon today, and I really wish to make connects with all of you and see how we can at least keep this discussion dialogue alive within ourselves, and see how we can incorporate. And we all come from academic backgrounds. I think we can all collaborate. All academic institutions can collaborate between each other to bring about this kind of energy and build up an ecosystem of collaboration between us. Today, interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary is the way forward. And let's look at and continue in this great endeavor. Thank you so much. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev Kagodi. Thank you, Supradeep. Thank you, Professor Himanshu. Thank you, Sonam Gyaltsen. Thank you, Harshit Shahji.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coordinating.
Thank you, Professor Karmakar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.